Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge in the financial world. Today, I've got the interest rate decision for Japan, along with their inflation data, and a few headlines to go with it. So that's going to be probably the biggest news of the week for us so far. You know, we could get some headline as the day goes on, but I doubt anything will be as big as this one, because we saw what happened last time they decided to make a decision, and it wasn't pretty. So luckily we got some good news off of it, and we will see how that plays out for the markets. But let's dive in and get you prepped for success today. I've got the stock heat map pulled up. From yesterday, everything is still looking kind of green. We've got Apple up 3.71%. Nvidia is up 3.97, almost 4%. Got Berkshire Hathaway up 0.68%. We've got Amazon up 1.8%. We've got ExxonMobil up 1.24 after we have crude oil making some big returns. We've got Tesla up 7.36%. So big gains off of interest rate decisions from the other day. We've got United Health Services down 0.62%. We've got Eli Lilly up 1.11%. We've got Microsoft up 1.8%. Google up 1.46%, and Meta up 3.93%. So nice big gains we've been getting off of the interest rate decision. On the crypto side of things, we've got Bitcoin up 1.05%. We've got Ethereum up 3.5%. We've got BNB up 0.7%. Solana's up 5.82%. We've got Dogecoin up 1.89. We've got Toncoin up 1.14. We've got Tron sitting neutral up 0.4%. We'll have to take a look at that chart, see if it's going to make a move to catch up with the rest of the market. We've got Cardano up 2.42. Avalanche is the big winner of the top 10, up 6.96%. Nice little regains of a local high from back there. We'll take a look at that chart as well. We've got XRP sitting up 0.09%, so lagging a little behind the rest of the top 10. Let me swap over to the fear and greeds. We've got crypto sitting at 54, neutral, up 5 points though, so starting to tick back towards the greed side of things. You know, could see one more little push up to the greed before a pullback down and leaving the range. That's what I had my eye on. We'll see if David agrees with that little move when he hops back in, because I know he's got his giant forecast pulled up, and it's very similar to what I've had my eye on. On the stock side of things, we are now back in greed, sitting at 66, up 1 point. So some big moves on the stock side of things, but not a big change on the fear and greed. Could show that there's a lot more upside on the stock side of things. Let me hop over to the liquidation heat map. we've got a bunch of liquidity now piling up on the bottom side of us and the top side of us. So, could see a little whipsaw action and a back and forth to grab both sides. David, share your screen with me too. So, we've got some liquidity piling up at 62,288 on the bottom side and 62,500 on the top side of the bottom. On the top side, we've got it stacking up at 64,205, and up at the top side of that liquidity, we've got 64,524. So very small range on the top side to grab liquidity from. Could be a nice whipsaw action in the price today. We've got David sliding in here. Let me get over.
Slide right on in.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good morning. It's Friday, sir.
Oh, good morning. It is Friday, isn't it?
Oh yes, I've been waiting for this day all week. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you can't. It's crazy how much, if you get off one night, the rest of your week is crap. I've not been doing well ever since that one night that my son got into bed. But I'm here. So,
Well, I'm glad you made it, and before 6 o'clock, we got plenty of time. So
let's
we
go.
we will get it done. Sir, this is a Wendy's, says Darren does things.
The wind is.
That cracked me up so much yesterday. Let me say hello to the chat before we slide into the big news for the morning. We have Darren does things. We have Sniper's Nightmare. Good morning. We've got
Ooh.
Archbite. Good morning. We've also got Melissa, One Love, sliding in extra early this morning. Good morning. Good
Hey.
morning.
Are
Anthony.
you telling me Melissa beat me?
Yeah, sir.
Wow.
You gotta do better.
I'll do better.
If Melissa's managing it, you can manage it.
Okay. If you say so.
Oh, I know so. You gonna let One Love beat
No.
you? The one with the most
Yeah.
inconsistent schedule in our Discord?
Hey, exactly. She just showed up once. Come on now.
We've also got Anthony Soprano in here. So, good morning to the peoples.
Good morning, beautiful people. It's Friday.
Most definitely.
Friday. Let's go.
I've got a few articles that tie into the whole Japan rate decision. So before I hop into the Japan rate decision, I'm going to hop over to this article and share my screen because I'm not on the right one. We have China keeps benchmark lending rates unchanged. China keeps its benchmark lending rates unchanged on Friday despite growing expectations for a cut after the U.S. Federal Reserve's larger than expected interest rate reduction earlier this week. The one-year loan prime was maintained at 3.35% and the five-year rate at 3.85%, the People's Bank of China said. Analysts had anticipated a rate cut this month, believing the Fed's move could provide more possible flexibility for China's central bank. Over here in Europe, we have Bank of England holds off on a rate cut after Fed decides to go big. The Bank of England left its key interest rates unchanged Thursday, taking a more cautious approach that the Federal Reserve is loosening the restraints it imposed on the economy to tame inflation. While it opted to stand pat, the UK's central bank said that it is likely to follow up on August's cut over coming months in anticipation of a decline in inflation to its 2% target late this next year. But it also said it is concerned by the still rapid pace at which service prices and wages are rising. A big part of that is going to be their energy costs. So something to watch out over the winter, as you see a lot of heating costs playing into that. On the Japan side of things, the big news, the Bank of Japan signals no rush in raising rates again, keeps policy steady. This is very, very good news for the assets. You know, we did see a little move up off of it last night. I almost entered along right before I went to bed, but I was like, I can't watch it and I don't trust it, so we just go into bed. Because sometimes no position is a good position. And Bank of Japan agrees because they said keeping the position that they have is the right decision. I would have to agree. You know, the yen is making new local highs against the dollar. So we'll have to look at that chart here. Bank of Japan keeps short-term rate steady at 0.25% as expected. The Bank of Japan kept interest rates steady on Friday, and its governor said it could afford to spend time eyeing the fallout from global economic uncertainties, aka the US and their rate cuts being 50 instead of 25 and the fallout from that. That's what the whole world is eyeing right now. You had China not making a decision. You had the European Central Bank not making a decision. You had the UK not making a decision, all because the global reserve currency decided that we were going to go big and tell the rest of them to go home. So that's some of the things that you can do when you're the global reserve currency. Everyone has to make decisions based on what you do. Let's see. The dovish comments pushed down the yen, heightening uncertainty over whether the Bank of Japan could hike interest rates again this year, as market players had predicted. Bank of Japan's Governor Kazuo Udao said Japan's economy was moving in line with forecast, with rising wages lifting consumption and keeping inflation on track to durably hit the bank's 2% target. But the volatile financial markets and uncertainty over whether the U.S. economy can manage a soft landing require the Bank of Japan to spend more time determining whether more rate hikes were needed, he said. The outlook for overseas economic development is highly uncertain. Markets remain unstable. We need to scrutinize such developments carefully for the time being, Udao said. Udao told news conferences.
Udao.
Yeah, it's I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm not, oh well, it's I'm pronouncing it phonetically.
Udao.
So after the Bank of Japan's widely expected decision to keep short-term rates steady at 0.25%, the yen's recent rebound has also moderated upward pressure on import costs and diminished the risk of an overshoot in domestic inflation, he said. As such, we can afford to spend time in making policy decisions. The dollar jumped above 143 yen after Udao's remarks on relief he did not give strong clues on the chance of near-term rate hike. The governor stressed risks surrounding the U.S. economy and reconfirmed the view the Bank of Japan won't hike rates until the markets are unstable. That may lead to receding market expectations of a year-end rate hike, said Atsushi Takedo, chief economic Itochu Research Institute.
Atsushi.
Yeah, it's just gonna make fun of it. Hey, I mean the names are kind of fun to say sometimes, but definitely difficult to pronounce. So I didn't go over their data drop from last night. I will hop over to that now.
They decided to keep rates where they are.
Yes, but they also got their core inflation rate year over year, which was forecasted to be 2.8%. It came out as 2.8%. Prior was 2.7, so they've had a little tick up, but we
But
also saw the same on the way down. They did have their inflation rate year over year come in at 3% from 2.8. Inflation rate month over month was 0.2% prior and is now 0.5%. You had inflation rate excluding food and energy though, which is at 2%. So a mixed bag, but overall with our rate cuts from the other day, you will see the effect on their data over the next month to 2 months coming in as we see how their dollar postures against ours. As you can see here, I've got that pulled up. And from their decision last night, you can kind of see a little tick up. So, good posturing for the yen against the dollar, which is very good for them and their decisions, as it had said in the article, to keep the rates at what they are because you're bringing import costs down and your energy costs down, where that's going to be one of the bigger impacts on them reaching 2% or having to hike. And the stronger that their dollar is, the less likely that they will have to hike sooner than later. So, could get to December, and if we've made another rate cut, where I know Piper's talked about it, where the betting markets are now trying to bake in another 50, they might not have to hike rates at all because we will be doing all the work for them and keeping our dollar in charge. We'll just have to see how it plays out.
yeah,
I don't know if you have any thoughts on it or if it's a little.
it's a little wonky and over my head.
All right then. Well, you can show the people the Bitcoin chart for the morning then. Show the peoples what they're here to see, David. What is Bitcoin gonna do off of this news?
Bitcoin is gonna pump,
All right.
and then it's gonna dump.
Sir saying I
I
wasn't
mean,
crazy to eye a short.
no, 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 no. I mean, we are at resistance right now, but I still think it still has a little higher to go. I mean, if we just, you guys have seen it every day now. Let's go over to my bluffing chart. There's my forecast still playing out. So maybe we'll see a little bit of more upside today and then some sideways consolidation. And then on Monday, get a sweep of the highs and then roll over. Now, something that I am considering is that we might not go this low. We might come down and sweep this low, might not, might just come back down to this and then get moving back to the upside. But what I really let me Nate, I should have had this ready. I do have it ready. Sweet. What I really don't like is wait, judge dismisses consensus lawsuit against Gensler. Oh, 14 hours ago. Oh, okay. All right. So here's my problem right now. And that is the fact that on this whole move up, we've been putting in our open interest has been increasing, and we are now back at levels. Hold on, let me zoom out a little bit so we can see it. We are now back at levels that we were at when the Japan carry trade went into effect, and we got that big wipe down below 50K. So we're getting close to those same levels again. Usually, once you get to those levels, those higher levels on your open interest, you see a flush of the market. The question is, which side of the market needs to be flushed? And I think it's longs. I think longs need to be flushed, and that's what we're looking at clearing out as longs before we can move back to the upside. So That's what I think is going to happen. We have the reason why I think it's more longs than shorts is because of this is less impulsive price action. This is still just more corrective and just people just going long instead of buying on spot. And I mean, Coinbase is buying on spot. If I bring that other chart back up, Coinbase has steadily but just been buying on spot, but Binance is still net negative on selling. So until they stop the selling, I mean, this could be we're definitely probably going to see. I shouldn't say we're probably, not financial advice, going to see another flush, if not just to back down to this point of control at about 59.1, 59.2. But I would still be looking for lower than 55K. Um, I'm just I don't know. I'm not seeing what I want to see. I'm not seeing like 5-wave impulse structures to the upside. I'm just seeing it's kind of messy. There's no real decision making or more, not a whole lot of decisiveness in the price action. A little bit too steep of a correction here for impulsive price action. Same with this one right here. It's just I don't really care for the way that it's looking at the moment. But things can change. But for now, I still think we see a little pop up above. We get into this high volume node up here at the top side, maybe sweep this high and get into this area of resistance up here where we see the big sell off that occurred. So we know that there's going to be some supply getting up in there. And yeah, from there, that is when I decide, okay, what are we going to do? Well, that's not when I decide. When I decide is if we get a pullback, when we get a pullback, I think we'll probably get back all the way back down to this high volume node at 61K, then a retrace, and then we continue down. That is what I'm looking at right now. But if we want to be bullish, let's get rid of that. We break up here, and then we start doing some correcting up here, and then we push higher and create a new high. Then I will start being like, oh, okay. So we're starting to look a little different now, especially if the price action gets a little more impulsive. So quick moves with shallow retracements, just quick moves with shallow retracements. We go over to this previous move up, and I can show you what it is I'm talking about. Like this right here. See, these are just really quick moves, and then just short, shallow retracements, sideways corrections, more like it. Like it's just very decisive, and it's on a mission, and the price action is just very clean. Not very choppy, just very clean in there. Just bull div after bull div or triangle after triangle. It's very clean price action. Whereas what we've been dealing with has not been clean or fun or anything. It's just more corrective like this and like this. All of these are designed to engineer liquidity for the market maker so that you set up your buys below the lows or your buy stops, which means people buy if if the price comes down. Those orders get triggered, and then you get people start. Why am I having a brain fart right now? Buy stops are down here. This is where your stop losses are if you're going long. So when the price comes back down to them, guess what you have to do? You have to buy back the order. That's how it closes the position. You're buying back, and typically at a lower price. So we could see a cascading effect if we start getting those liquidations, and yeah, and that's what could send us back down below 55. And that's what I'm looking at on the Bitcoin. BC.
I guess we will watch and see if we get that low. You know, I've got some oh snap limit orders placed decently low. So
Oh snap! Hold
yeah,
on. Let me. Are you still on me? Let's see.
yep.
Dynamic quantum reactor down here as well. So would not be surprised to see that come back. See price come back to get retraced to those levels. And get my spaceman on here. So these levels up here, the current year high, previous quarter high. I don't know that we'll get up to those levels. What I would be looking for, whoops, I got to get back to, there we go. That clean us up a little bit. All right, let's go back to the spaceman. There we go. Previous month high. So these are the levels that I'm looking for us to get up to. I'm looking for us to sweep the previous month high, and that is what we are aiming for. I believe that's what price is looking to get above and to sweep is the previous month high and the previous quarter midpoint. So so yeah, that's why I have those targets up there as well. It's more confluence right there. So just wanted to point that out, and the fact that we are above the dynamic and chart prime dynamic and quantum reactors. If I go to the daily, I believe we were coming up to them, and then we broke them yesterday. Oh, why does it do that? Hold on. There we go. Double click. All right. So yeah, we were at the dynamic reactor yesterday, or no, that's the quantum reactor. We've broken through the dynamic reactor, so that's interesting. And then we're getting above the quantum reactor. So seeing us get a push to that previous month high, and then getting a pullback, that could get us. That could be looking nice. Now, this is actually looking pretty nice too. So I don't know. We've got some price action that we need to watch play out, and yeah, I really just want to get above this high and get a pullback. That's what I want. All right, I'm done since you're just sitting there vaping in the background and I can hear it just blasting in my ears.
I forgot to mute myself before I hit it.
You're good. Yeah, so let's just get above that quantum reactor and get a close above it anyway. And we need it to turn green as well, so that makes it more bullish. Just try to get us some more confluence in here. And we do have a lot of liquidity down there at about 57K, so that might want to get tap a rude. So yep.
Well,
it's looking good. I'm just kind of like, be patient, wait till next week, see what stuff is going on, see what happens with price, just be patient.
I would definitely agree. I think this range that we have been in since we made new all-time highs is not too unexpected. We are pretty on track now that we've pulled back down to these levels to
Are you gonna pull yourself up?
be in line with previous bull runs. So the cooling off hasn't been too crazy in my eyes, and seeing that last little dip down before we blast out of the range is something that happens time and time again. I can pull back down here where if you pull from run to run, you can kind of see where this one, yes, it wasn't as long of a period, but you get a nice dip down before you blast off, because these were new highs for Bitcoin as well, and that's where you see a nice little consolidation on the range. We got extremely overheated in comparison to this run though, so something to keep in mind where oh, we might not see those 50K prices, but we could. And it's better to be prepared for 50K and not get that price than to be not prepared for 50K and be like, "Oh shit, why was I all in on that point? Why did I not have dry powder for that pullback?" So, that's just how I like to view it. I'd rather be safe than sorry and then just buy in on 10% pullbacks with larger DCAs. I know we see some Gary in the chats. People going crazy for it. You want to pull it up for him, LBC? Show him why Gary's amazing. I have
No,
I have Tron coin pulled up. I was completely joking.
I know.
You know you want to pull it up though. Just show them how terrible of a coin it is and why we're more Bitcoin maxis.
Well, I can pull up any altcoin and I can be like, I almost any altcoin, not all of them, but I can pull up a lot of altcoins right now and be like, this is Gary, and nobody would know because they all look like trash right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I had a giant discussion with Piper last night in his Discord on his TA 101 where we bashed
Did you learn
some
you something?
I think Crux might have learned a little something. We were bashing on the markets, and Piper said he might be turning into a Bitcoin maxi. And I said,
I heard him say that. I heard him say that on a show yesterday. I was like, wait, what?
"Welcome to the ranks of the maxis, brother. We've been here for a while, and we appreciate every new member."
I
But
am not a maxi. I am very heavily into Bitcoin at this moment. But as far as an investment, I mean, maybe not a maxi because I'm pretty chain agnostic, but when it comes to like something that I am investing in and not just speculating and doing short-term trades on, I mean, I'm stacking Bitcoin. I'm stacking sats. I
Mhm.
mean, there's nothing, I'm not going to stack anything else. The only thing that retains its value is XRP
yeah, because it doesn't move.
because it doesn't move. But no, but for real, like not even ETH really for me. I think weak, man. ETH is looking weak to me, but I mean, not to chart. I'm talking about the project itself. The chart will
Mhm.
probably explode. Um, I don't know. I don't know. ETH might still be around. It might just be. I don't know. I don't know. Did you see Vitalik Buterin doing the doing his little song at the Token 2049
Um,
on the stage?
you mean his little dance thing?
Awkwardness.
Yeah.
He did some. No, not the dance thing. No, I'm talking about this year. Like it just happened this week
Oh,
during Token
no.
49,
No.
2049.
I
Yeah,
did.
he was doing a new rap thing or whatever, and I don't know. I saw somebody on Twitter or X, and they were like, I think we should sell all of our stuff now, all of our Ethereum now. I
Was
think
it
it's time to
better?
wrap it up, boys.
Was it better or worse than his little dance move that he did at the last one? That was super awkward
It
and nerdy.
is the same. Someone was
Uh,
like, "Sell your stuff," and I'm like, "Actually, I mean, if anything, this is bullish."
yeah, when the nerds dance, you're about to make money.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. Yeah, I think Q4 is going to be pretty special, but
Yeah,
I don't know how much alts. I mean, alts will obviously probably outperform Bitcoin in that moment,
I
but the
think.
whole market, I don't know. We still might need to get up to that 60 percent dominance, which we're at 58.
Yep, I want to see it. I've
We're
talked about it for a while. I do have Tron pulled up since I had talked about it earlier. So let me hop over to that chart real quick. We
okay.
we've got an extension pulled up uh, from the low over here to the high and coming back down. We are now at the 618, which looks like it's going to be a nice longer term bouncing point where if you drop it down to the 4 hour, we're seeing some oversold or overbought, a reversal signal. You're still seeing green heavy inflows though. So something to keep in mind that this 618 is probably going to be a consolidation area for Tron. It is kind of lagging behind, as you would saw here, up 0.4%, while the rest of the market has kind of blasted off. So if we consolidate on this 618 extension, keep your eye out for these local highs sitting at 16 cents, 16 and 85. So just a nice little move up that Tron could make to kind of catch up after it cools down a bit, because we are overbought and getting reversal signals on that, but still seeing a lot of inflow. Let me toss that over to you real quick.
How bullish are you? Because you should probably calm down. All right. So this red line, reddish pinkish line is is the Fed funds rate. And if you notice, anytime they cut rates, what is the market doing? It is going down to the downside. Not anytime, but the past few times when we have cut rates, the markets have moved to the downside. This is the S&P 500, which just put in a new all-time high yesterday. So interesting. Let's see. When we got this rate cut here, we did have a push up and then a pullback and then one more run on the highs. This could be what we see coming into the Q4. Is we kind of get a little push up. We got that one break above the high on the rate cut decision. You get the pullback, and then you get the one final push up, and then you just roll over and you keep rolling over until the cutting stops. Because you can't stop the bleeding until you stop cutting. You know what I mean? But then we go back to the 80s, and I mean, everything was. I mean, it just kept going higher and higher and higher. But rate cut, move down. Rate cut, finishing up the bottom. Rate cut. You're right here. Yeah. So a big move to the downside for a few months, several months, and then it just went cranking. Now look at our Fed funds rate compared to back here. I mean, it's nothing, but we're right where we were in 07. Anybody remember 07? Are you old enough to remember 07, 08? When
Barely.
we started getting our rate cuts. That's because of the great financial crisis. Look what happened next. Now, I'm not saying that this is the type of move that we're going to get. We might not even get that kind of move. It just so happens to be that every time we get rate cuts, it is not exactly the most bullish thing until they're slow or just stop completely. Once that happens, markets will likely continue to move to the upside. But until then, it's a little bit too much uncertainty, a little too much money moving around at that time, profit taking. But hey, I mean, this time could be different. We'll see. But yeah, and the SCP, what I was saying is that one pullback could be when that Bitcoin pullback that I was talking about, and then that one big last push up on the S&P could be when we see the big rally, the end of the year rally in crypto, and then we go sideways and bearish for the next 6 months or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. we've got a lot of time, so we'll see. But I could definitely see that, especially if what is it? The target rate is what, 3 by June or something?
There are predictions that it could be 3%.
Mhm.
Powell never really clarified. He didn't really give an end target for rate cuts, and he said that they were going to play it meeting by meeting. So,
Yeah, I wonder if they're just gonna pause at the next meeting, and I think markets will get maybe super bullish on that. I'm not sure. That's a tough one. I don't know if they'll cut or they'll pause on the next one. I got a feeling they might pause, but we'll see. I think the next one is the day after the election. Is it the 6th?
it's around there. I think it's normally the middle of the month, though, right? So, like the week
It's
after?
just it's just every 6 weeks. That's all it is. Um, uh,
While you look
yeah.
that up, I'm going to show this little comparison chart where it's your M2 money supply, and M2 money supply is illiquid savings, so things like CDs and bonds and things like that, where you're putting your money to the side so it can make you money, but you can't touch it and use it if something happens. So comparing that to your 10-year bond yield, you can kind of see that people are how they're feeling for the long term. You're seeing your MACD about to cross on the positive side on your money flow. So you're about to see a giant tick up in my view from this chart, a tick up on those illiquid reserves. So that means that people are eyeing putting their money in more safe areas. If you come over, I don't know if it'll let me just choose
Bing
from
bong.
my list.
629.
Oh, it doesn't have my list pulled up right there. I was going to pull up a different one, but you can kind of see that people are looking at safety. And that's why you have like your SPX and SPY that are moving to the upside on this news. Let me hop over to both of our charts. I don't know if you had anything, or both of us. I don't know if you had a chart that you wanted to show before we wrap out, but
No, I just wanted to say, so the next Fed meeting actually isn't the day after the election. It is oddly enough. I guess they do this. This is weird, but the FOMC is that week, but it is on Thursday instead of Wednesday. So they must be taking the day off for the election stuff to play out or something. Um,
well, they got to go vote.
on the 5th, everybody got to go back to work on the 6th. Come on, man, do your job.
Nah, they're in the
But they have,
government. They're
yeah,
in the government. They don't do their job.
they'll have an earlier that morning. But yeah, I think, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It'll be after the election, so we will know who the next president of the United States is before the next FOMC
Maybe,
occurs.
maybe.
So, uh, we don't have to deal with mail-in ballots this time, so I think it'll be. I mean, I think that was the longest I've ever experienced was the last one because they had to
Wait, you were alive for Bush Gore?
Bush Gore. Well, yeah, that one was a little. That was a little tested. Yeah, that was definitely tested. You're right. You're right. We might not know who the president
That's
is
all
on
I'm saying.
Wednesday.
The trend is that we don't know.
Well, the trend is that we know, but then someone has to argue about it,
Yeah,
so or
yeah.
put up a fight. So we'll see, because I don't know. People don't like losing, so
Oh,
they will put
surprise!
up a fight.
Surprise that people don't like losing. What? Oh no.
People don't like losing, especially admitting it.
Oh,
Anyways,
we
that's
definitely
good. That's it. That's it.
we definitely don't have the same quality of politicians as we used to. So I will say
Oh,
that.
We're nowhere near the same quality politicians that we used to. I don't know what happened, but
I remember when people bashed Obama and Mitt Romney was like, "Excuse me, he's an okay dude, you know?
yeah,
Don't do that." And
yeah,
now we're just they just openly bash each other on stage. But
yep.
that's for
Which one
another
do you
show.
like more? Which one do you like more? Yeah. Oh, tomorrow I've got a softball tournament to go to tomorrow. So, yeah, I'll be doing that. We gotta leave the house at 4:45 in the morning. So,
Oh, you'll be up at
um,
my time, sir.
yeah, and then we'll be gone traveling all day, and then we'll be hopefully coming back tomorrow night, and then hopefully I could do a swim on Sunday. So we'll see.
Well, hopefully, just let us all know in your Discord, which if you're not a part of, you should definitely check out Lunar Beaches Crypto. His link is on there. I don't believe it's in our description.
Probably not.
You can check out the Piper Discord as well. There's a lot of good alpha there. We do a couple of groups where we meet together in the Discord and we talk about charting as well. Go ahead and check that out. That's in the description. Also, check out the other links in the description. If you don't have a good coffee source or some good indicators, we got some for you. As well, check out the morning market open report with Piper this morning at 9:30 Eastern time. That should be with Piper and OC. Should see trade fly. It is Friday, you know. He normally has that day where he can slide on in and be a part of the show. There is no crypto nightcap today, so tune in for that Monday. That starts back up at 8:30 Eastern time. Other
PM.
than that, yeah, PM. Other than that, I don't really have much else to say besides thank you for showing up, and I'll give it to you to wrap out any last thoughts you might have.
Yeah, I just hope you all have an amazing, beautiful, wonderful, radical weekend. And yeah, go outside and touch some grass. And yeah, just be patient with the price action, guys. Just be patient with the markets. We're still kind of letting the dust settle, so let's just kind of wait and see what's going on before we go get a little too crazy. Okay, just be careful with the longs and the shorts. Just be careful and manage your risk properly and use a stop loss. All right, so let's just do that. Let's have a great weekend, and we'll see you back on Monday, right here on Piper Academy.
Monday, bright and early, extra early, you know, just for y'all. But everyone, wake up.
Today is gonna be a good day.